Hey everyone. Hope you're all well. Just thought I'd come on and have a bit of a chat here with you guys. I was going to talk to you guys about everything that's been going on, but I wanted to give you guys a bit of a background into me and who I am and what makes me tick. Because I think if you know me better, you'll understand why I'm in this field and why I'm doing what I am. I think it's all about being genuine. Sorry, I just got to blow my nose, speaking of being genuine. Um, there we go. Sorry about that. Anticlimax. Hi, back. Hope you're all doing really well. You got a special little blow of the nose there. Hey, Rakma. Hope you're doing really well. Miss you. Hey, Ibrahim. Hope you're doing really well, buddy. Miss you too. Say hi to Mama. I just thought I'd come on and have a bit of a chat to you guys and tell you what's been going on. So I was going to give you a bit of a history of me and what I'm all about, so you get a better understanding of why we're doing this and why I'm, so into, what I do here. I guess the first thing I would talk to you about is, hi Ibrahim, hope you're doing well, is about family and, my history and where I come from. Looks like this is cutting out a bit, but we'll keep on going. For me, I come from a family of six. My mum was a single mum. She brought us up by herself. We never really had a lot. We didn't have a lot of money when we were kids. We didn't have a lot to live on. We sort of, I tell stories about when I went to school, my sister would do up my shoelaces and I would brush her hair. We'd get some saladas given to us. We do our own Vegemite and cheese on them. We could take them to school and trade them and get sandwiches instead. So, we didn't have a lot when we were kids. And, I've always been about family. I've always been about loved ones. I've always been about belonging and caring and looking after and nurturing each other. And hi, Rama, and hi, Ibrahim. Hope you're doing well. So for me, it's always been about, caring and nurturing and looking after each other. And as a kid, I sort of had that instilled in me with my mum. She was the most amazing, or still is the most amazing person in the universe. We had pretty tough times when we were little. We didn't have a lot, so we always appreciated what we had. As I got older, went through school, studied, was going to be a childcare teacher, ended up starting to working in a warehouse packing boxes. From there, went into the customer service team, went into national sales manager there and worked my way through to the top of that business. But the corporate life really isn't my thing, wasn't ever my thing. It was more about humanity and looking after people. And I always wanted to save the world. I always had this big thing about saving the world. I think it's because as a kid, I wanted to look after my mum and make sure she was okay. And then I decided I just wanted to look after humanity and make sure everyone was okay. And that's where I come from. And that's my nature and who I am. I guess I feel a lot. I feel everything. I call myself an empath. I pick up on people's emotions. If anything seems a little bit out of place, whether it's someone's feelings or whatever else, I jump onto it. I need to be there and I need to be looking after people as much as possible. And I want to make sure everyone's okay. And that's whether it's my own kids, if it's someone else's kids, if it's the person I love, the person I'm with, my partner. I always want to make sure people are okay and, feel everything. And for me, that then transcended into what's happening now. So, been through a lot over the last 10 years or so, went through a marriage breakdown and all that stuff. Kind of went a bit into myself and didn't really put myself out there on the line. When all this stuff started happening, it really gave me a sense of purpose because I was working in a job selling bathrooms at the time. And I sort of said to myself, you have a choice here. You can either stand up and be heard, or you can keep on selling your toilets and bathrooms quietly. And I decided to make a noise because for me, what's happening right now is about a fight that we need to make for light versus dark. I feel like there's so much going on with the world where there's so many dark forces pushing for their agendas right now that we need to step up. And it's paramount that we all be the loudest voice that we can be. And while it's hard and while we feel a lot of the pain, I couldn't sit back and watch and allow these things to happen to the people I love. Now, for me, the start to this journey was actually looking at 5G. I saw what was happening with the coronavirus around the world. I started to piece together that it was perhaps where these 5G systems were getting turned on that people were getting sick. I was still working at the time, but I felt this anxiety at work. Again, being an empath, I was picking up on everyone's feelings at work. When people were coming in, they started taping up the ground and making it so people had to be socially distant. I said to myself, something's not quite right here. And I started to critically think, and I started to look into what was happening around the world with 5G and what was happening around the world with people losing their freedoms. And by doing that, I cottoned on to how many things were actually incorrect or weren't quite right. I walked up to my boss on that day and I said, I can't work here anymore. And I handed in my resignation. And I said, I need to be doing something that's genuine for me. I need to be working from my heart space, and I need to make a difference in this world. And that's what I decided to do. So I started spreading the word all about 5G and the dangers that come with it. Hey Rama, all the dangers that come with it. And started to let people know that their health and their choice, freedom of choice, is something that's really important to people. And I decided to start being an advocate and being a voice for those that couldn't do the research or couldn't work it out, because this cognitive dissonance that's set in with people looking within the box and just watching TV and getting their news from Facebook and from their Instagram rather than learning, I felt like I needed to break that mold. So I dropped, as I said, I went up to my boss, I left on that day, and I started to spread the word about 5G and what it was doing to people around the world and how it was making people sick. We started a page from one person, which was myself, worked it through to now 85,000 people. I've got a really great team that are running that page for me now. While standing up for justice and doing these blogs and talking to people all around the world and growing this page, we started to get censored heavily. Which means generally when you're getting censored like this, as I keep on mentioning from Nazi Germany, when they started to throw out all the books, we started getting censored here as well. So our page started to get shut down. I actually got taken into the courts. I got taken off Facebook altogether. And for me, again, being an empath, I pick up on all these negative energies all around the world. And it's been a hard journey. It has been a hard slog trying to stay on top of it and stay emotionally at the right spot. I continue to do this. I want to make this clear. I want the clarity for everyone on what's actually happening out there, to know that it's a bigger agenda or a bigger picture than what maybe they can see. And I'm going to continue to do this because for me, it's my calling. It's something I need to do. And it doesn't matter where it's at. I feel like I want to keep working on this. I want to keep waking people up to what's happening with this coronavirus. I want to keep showing people the actual facts and figures so they can make clear choices on what they want to do with their lives, because we can't be a slave to the government. The government's there to work for the people. It's by the people, for the people. The police are by the people, for the people. All these services should be working for us and not working on the directives that they're getting. We need to know, and I'm not scared. I have no fear at all. All I know is that I have been getting very tired, and I'm trying to push through this because my emotions have been getting the better of me in lots of circumstances. And you know, being positive for so long has been amazing. See you, Rama. Have a good sleep. Remember, you're amazing, Rama, and be the person you want to be. Don't worry about anyone else. Stay strong. You don't need other people's love or attention to be strong. You are an amazing person always. And Ibrahim, you look after yourself and look after your family. You're very strong as well. And keep practicing your basketball. Sorry for the tangent. But yeah, I feel like we need positive mindsets, and I try to be positive all the time. And I feel like we need to continue to grow, and we need to continue to come from this great place of love. And we're seeing wins happening around the world, and we need to continue to thrive and cherish in these wins. And I just thought it'd be good to give you guys my background, because some people aren't sure if it's coming from a genuine spot or if it's coming from love or if it's coming from something monetary or whatever else. Trust me. It's coming from a place of love. I want a better world. I want a better world for my kids. I want a better world for the people I love. I want a better world for my friends' kids. I want a better world for everyone around me, because if we are quiet and compliant now, we lose the ability to speak up later on. So continue to remember, you guys can actually change the agenda. You guys can actually make a big difference to this world around you, because within all of you is the power to make a difference. Within all of you, there's the power to make change. And within all of you is the power to speak and have your voices heard. And you can't allow that to be trashed or taken away. And I feel like around the world, there's genocide happening in many places, whether it's against animals like the whales in Finland, or Denmark, whether it's against the Muslims in the north of China that I keep on mentioning because that's the biggest genocide happening around the world right now, whether it's in parts of Africa, where the vaccines are getting tested on people. We need to stand up and we need to make a noise now, because if we're silent, we're as bad as the people doing these things. If we're silent, we're as bad. We're committing the genocide as well. Genocide comes in steps, in phases. So remember that the genocides are happening because people aren't stepping up and making a noise when the first thing happens. So think about it like this. The first thing they'll generally do in a genocide is find a problem. The second thing they'll do is cause division. Within that division, people will think the false truth or the false narrative is the truth, and they'll follow that truth to the point of pushing other ones down into the ground. Once they start pushing the other ones down into the ground, the people that are on the false narrative side will say, well, it's okay to get rid of these people and push them into the ground and have them disappear because they're following a false narrative. We, the truth seekers and the freedom keepers, can step up beyond this and make a huge difference. I believe all of you can make a difference. All of you can change the world because we can stand strong. I went out today all day without a mask, and it didn't matter how many looks I got or how many voices were against me. I stood in my strength because I know myself. I know who I am. I know I make mistakes. I fuck up all the time, definitely. But if you keep coming from that genuine spot of love and care, you can never go wrong. I believe in every single one of you. You're all amazing. Keep standing strong. Keep standing up against the negativity and the tyranny and the bad things in this world, and you can't go wrong. You won't be judged for doing this. By the people who judge you are the ones that are judging themselves. Remember that. The people who are judging you are judging themselves because they're not quite sure of this narrative either. So they have to justify it by judging you. Keep being strong. I believe in all of you. Know that you can make things amazing with every little action you have. Your ripple effect is going to change the whole entire world. Peace.